Speak for yourself, right?
That's it. Might as well go live.
Extreme Fitness Makeover. Learn more right after this. Do it again? Yeah, I figured. I saw your Extreme Fitness Makeover. Learn more right after this.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Community Watch. You know, Doc is back from location. You know, he's been gone the last couple of weeks.
They came on fast.
Yeah.
What? That's different. That's a new approach.
It is.
Well, how are you, Greg?
I'm fine. And yourself?
Good.
You've been gone for the last couple of weeks, so
I have.
you know, so I told people you would be back. But we're talking about one of your areas. You used to run a lot, I know.
Yeah.
You might still.
Well, running is a strong word.
Well, you
for what I
trudged
did.
through whatever
I
you
trudged,
did.
yes.
But I'm saying you've always been very fit conscious, at least in, like, pretty much a vegetarian for the most part. You know, I'm saying I don't know what you do. I'm just saying for the most part you're vegetarian. You take a lot of supplements and vitamins, so you're very health conscious. Between the two of us, you're very health conscious.
I suppose. Although you're getting there.
No.
You have been working out more regular than I have.
But I just don't like it. I'm just gonna be honest. But you know what I mean? Like, I can always call you and you can tell me about different herbs. You can tell me about different things that you just seem to be very fit conscious.
Well, I'm not a good example, but I have learned that there's a great deal of discipline involved, and I know that that's a problem for me, because I let other things get ahead of that. I don't know what your issue is, but
I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah. But our guest today, we've got Kelly Tolles, who conducts this. Yeah, she is discipline personified.
You seen the, like, Facebook videos or whatever they have? Like.
And I know they've been doing these makeovers for a couple of years now.
And they work.
They work. They work. So I want to find out how it is that, what it takes. And we have this year's winner as well. So it should be a really entertaining show, informative show. So stay with us. We'll be back with our guests right after this.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking.
Viking.
Red state, blue state, vegan,
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We're very happy to have with us Kelly Tolles and this year's winner of the Extreme Fitness Makeover, Jennifer Short. Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Kelly, it's been a couple of years since you've been on the show.
It's been a couple of years. It's our third year.
Third
doing
year.
this competition.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So remind me, since I'm old and I have trouble remembering things, about what the program is and how it works.
Our program is called Extreme Fitness Makeover. It is a free program for 10 to 12, depending on the year. Lucky contestants. These people are chosen by an application interview process. We are looking for people. It's not a bikini makeover. It's not a beach body, get ready and shave off a couple of pounds. These are for people who have a good amount of weight to lose, who have some health problems, some lifestyle issues because of their weight. And it is our way of giving back to the community, because everything that we do for them is done from donations received from sponsors and from the donations from the gym and from the trainers. All of us, the time that we put in is donated. What we're trying to do is not just work with people for 12 weeks and rush, let them lose as much as they can and then throw them off and let them do what they want to and try to flounder around, but to teach them a way of life, to make them feel part of our gym and part of the community of people that we have there, so that once the 12 weeks is over, they can start and continue going, but on their own, and take what we've taught them and share it with their families and their friends and other people. As our way of giving back, they're giving back as well.
So, how many applicants do you have?
Every year is a little different. This year we had probably 55 to 75. I can't remember the exact number, because we have some come in a little at a time.
Wow.
And it's a large process of reading each one of those and over and over and over again, because you read them all and you want everybody to be a part of it. Everybody has a desire and a need, and you want to, people like me and the other trainers there that want to help, you want to help everybody. But we go through an interview process and we sit and narrow it down until we come down to 10. And that's what we chose. This year was 10.
That must have been very difficult.
Oh, it is. It's heart-wrenching. It is so hard to tell somebody no.
So, do y'all have I guess so the contestants, do they just range in their needs though? I mean, if everybody, like, I'm guessing some people may have some major health issues,
Sure.
some may have some maybe bordering on health issues.
Right.
So is there a range of the contestants?
There is. There are people that come in that need to lose 10 or 15 pounds, and they think that this is a program for them. While they would benefit from it, 10 or 15 pounds is something within the reach of most people on their own, or with a little help, or with a trainer, or a nutrition program. We are looking for people who have quite a bit of weight to lose, who maybe have expressed their desire to get help beyond what they've already tried. They've already tried working with a trainer. They've already tried working with a nutritionist. They are at their wits' end. It's very emotional, and we're looking for people who are just, they're crying out for help and needing something. The majority of the people we take are diabetic, high blood pressure. They have high cholesterol. They have lots of things that, of course, we can get rid of that medication. For, with their health and things getting better, they can get rid of the medication. Sorry, my mouth is saying the wrong words. But we also have to be careful about people that have had knee problems and spinal issues and all that, because our program is very rigorous. So although we try to help as many as we cannot take everybody. And that's where it becomes difficult.
So, Jennifer, what made you decide to apply?
I actually have a few friends that did the program the last 2 years, and just kind of watching their journeys. My personal stories, I'm an emotional eater. I teach elementary school, so I can pretty much go through a 6-pack of Diet Mountain Dew and 3 Snickers in a day, depending on what's going on at school. And so for me, it was just, I'd gotten to the point where I wasn't taking care of myself, and the stress that comes with, personal life, trying to match personal life and professional life and everything in between. I wasn't managing my stress very well, and I've always been really active. Always as a kid playing soccer, doing all kinds of sports, cheerleading, everything. Have brothers that are really, really active. And so for me, the older that I got and the more that I let the stress take over me, I wasn't taking care of myself. And so watching a couple of friends of mine go through the journey, for me it was more of I need to do this for me. I actually was, and I wasn't on any medications. I'd had minor, knee issues or a shoulder problem here or there, but going into it, I didn't have a lot of, I thought I didn't have a lot of health problems, but throughout the process, I realized that, just energy level alone, after the process and learning how to eat and learning how to work out and how to be active, I could go all day long, and not feel tired and not need Diet Mountain Dew and not feel like I need a Snickers. And I was just like, where's all this energy coming from?
Now, first of all, you're talking about 6 Mountain Dews and 3 Snickers as a bad thing.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to throw that out there.
But I
Probably
wanted,
not something you want to do.
I do want to ask though, before you or in the process of applying, don't you have to make a decision about revealing yourself or being open, presenting your problems publicly? You have to, swallow some pride, I guess, or something.
You have to
get
swallow
to that
a lot of pride. It's really difficult. Again, watching some friends of mine go through it and seeing their journeys, I was like, oh my gosh, you're doing so great. Like, that's awesome. But I don't want to put that stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want my name tagged somewhere. I don't want a video of me trying to do a burpee, which I still can't do. Just all those things that, to me, the benefit, obviously now looking hindsight, the benefit far outweighs the embarrassment or the uncomfortable. I don't want someone looking at me or knowing, this certain number or whatever. I think, obviously the benefits outweigh that, the hard parts, I guess.
Well, it's probably easier to say that now.
It's a lot easier
Yeah.
to say that now. Yeah.
But Kelly, I'm guessing that's an issue with many of your
Oh, it
applicants,
is. And that's part of the walls that they've built up, is they've built up a wall. If I don't talk about being overweight or if I don't talk about how unhappy and unhealthy I am, then nobody's going to notice it. And they come to us, and here we are. Well, if you're going to be in the program, we're going to take before pictures of you. We're going to weigh you. We're going to measure you. We're going to post this on Facebook. We're going to make your own website or whatever we do to put all this information out there. We're going to put videos of you sweating with your head in a bucket, throwing up, crying. And that's hard in itself, being nervous about being pushed and being told what to do and how to eat. That's one thing. But on top of that, they're having to open up a part of them that they've built these walls around. And that's hard, but it's part of the process.
Well, let me ask you, because I just like difficult questions. Because let's be honest, people go through a ton of programs and they do well, but then as time goes by, they start kind of.
Sure.
To what degree of success? Not immediate, right after, because I know
Right.
right after people are much
Right.
better off than they were. But have the program, is it proven to be that that a percentage of them are maintaining that lifestyle?
Right. You're exactly right, what you just said. One thing, our first winner, Tracy Swan, was from 2012. I think she's lost 130 or 140 pounds since she began with us.
Wow.
Since then, she has become a personal trainer. She is a trainer at Rome Athletic Club with me and a boot camp instructor, and is just full force into fitness. Her husband is now taking boot camp. Her child, who is, I think he's 10 or 11, eats grilled chicken and vegetables, which to me is unheard of because I can't even get mine to eat. She is incredibly successful, and the amount of people that she has touched through her journey, I couldn't even put a number on. There are a few more like that over the past couple of years. Now, there are also quite a few that have gone right back into the old unhealthy lifestyle. And of course that breaks your heart because you think about all the things that they've learned. You think about all the things that you went through with them to get them to this point. But life happens, and sometimes people seem to fall back into the same patterns that they had. And I hate that, and I want to just shake them so hard and say, think about what you learned. Think about all you went through. Now, you're going to have setbacks. She's going to have a setback. There's going to be a point in the next few weeks, because we've only been done a couple of weeks, 3 weeks or so, that she's probably going to gain 1 or 2 or 3 pounds back. She'll miss a week of working out. But someone who is determined, as Jennifer is, will pick right back up and say 2 or 3 pounds is not going to send me back to where I started. And 1 week off and starting back over and being out of breath and being sore is not going to send me back to the couch or back to whatever I was doing before. So you can always go into this saying, yeah, some people are going to fall off the wagon, as we say, and some people aren't. But you can't worry about who's going to not stick with it. You've just got to pray and hope and push and teach. And even if they may fall off the wagon, the things that they've learned, they may have already passed on to their families, and that's what we're hoping for.
Well, let me ask you that. So then really are we talking about, it's individuals who is going through it, like, if you're going through it. But at some point do we have to address this from a larger issue, a community issue?
Oh,
because
yeah.
I think the part of the denial you was talking about earlier, I think we have become, because so many Americans are obese,
Oh, yeah.
that we have kind of created a culture where it's really just okay.
Sure.
And so for those people, for whatever reason, that have fallen off the wagon, also their family that went through that
Right.
process with them. You know, it makes me wonder, okay, what was that conversation like?
Right.
You know, if I've watched you lose 100 pounds and I'm slowly watching you put it back
Get it
on,
back on.
what are those, how's that affecting family? If family members change their way of lifestyle,
Right,
their diet.
right.
So at some point, do we have to start having a bigger conversation, I guess, about just being overall healthy as a community?
I think so, and I think part of the misconception is that people don't realize you can be healthy and not starve yourself to death. You don't have to work out like on TV on The Biggest Loser. They work out for hours and hours and hours a day, and they eat minimal amounts of food. You don't have to crash diet. You don't have to work out 1,000 hours a week, and you don't have to go to a gym to do it. If more families, and we try to teach this, and we go over that with you guys too. Go for a walk in the park. Take your kids, everybody get bicycles, or take the football or the frisbee out on the weekends. Walk up to the House of Dreams at Berry on the weekends. Everybody get together and grill out and have veggies and eat. We never would even teach anybody not to eat, but to make better choices and work together as a family instead of putting mom in the kitchen making something. Make it a family deal. Let the kids whip up something with her, some fruit concoction or something, and eat at home more and spend more time together. That it doesn't have to be everybody's eating a piece of lettuce and a piece of raw tuna on a plate and drinking 7 glasses of water. But I think that's the misconception. I think that people still think that to be healthy you have to be a stick, you have to wear a size 0 or a 2, and you can't eat, and you have to work out and sweat yourself to death. And that is what's wrong. That is what's wrong. I think that's part of the problem. And if people could realize it's not about being skinny, it's not about what you look like, but it's about what the inside of your body feels like, and about your longevity that you're given from being healthy and for leading longer lives and being with your kids. But without everybody knowing that, then families don't know how to support each other. And I think that's what's happened. And you wonder what kind of programs we could come up with for families together, instead of just one partner, maybe the husband and the wife, which we did this year, and that worked out pretty well too. So
Well, one thing that comes to mind, and just hearing you talk about that, is really defining healthy. Because I think what you see on TV
right.
as healthy may be very different healthy
Right.
for you as an individual.
Right.
But I know we got to take a break.
We
But
do.
that's one thing that really, what is healthy?
Right.
What does that really look like?
Well, stay with us. We've got a lot left. We'll be right back after this.
Seven 7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We're having a conversation with Kelly Tolles of Extreme Fitness Makeover fame, and this year's winner, Jennifer Short. I'm curious if you, Kelly, have seen a lot of common reasons for the folks that you work with getting to where they are.
Oh, yeah.
Either with eating habits or stress or whatever it is that lead them to,
Right.
to where they are.
Oh, yeah. Stress. So everybody's first response is, I'm just stressed out all the time. In fact, that's what she was said a minute ago. She had to deal with stress with the Mountain Dews and the candy bars. Time. We all lead rush, here, there. We got to get there. We got to go through a drive-through and grab some food. And Chick-fil-A and McDonald's and all these places now, they do offer better choices, but you're still eating processed food. And they know that people are going to eat it because they know people never have enough time. They have kids in every camp and every practice, and everybody's jobs are strange hours. And so I guess that's the main thing, is it's just a time thing.
How do you resolve it? You can't change a person's schedule, can you?
You can't change their schedule, but one of the things that we try to teach our folks is to plan ahead. That becomes a big part of the problem. When you don't think about what you're going to eat until an hour past your stomach's growling, then you're going to grab the first thing you can get into.
I am so guilty of that.
Yes, we all are.
You can do good
Well,
all day.
And then you don't
and then
make
you
good
starving,
choices.
and it's like
Yeah.
the first restaurant.
If you're not
Yeah.
starving and you've got your choice between a piece of grilled salmon and salad or a hamburger, you're going to pick the better choice. But when you're starving to death, you're like, I'll just go through and get me a Whopper or, whatever you want. But so one thing that we've tried to instill in our contestants and people that we train just in daily life is to plan ahead. Every Sunday, as a family or even not as a family, go to the grocery store, plan out 5 days worth of food, come home, bust open a pack of chicken, throw it on the grill. Then you have chicken all week. You put a different vegetable with it. You cut it up and put it on a low-carb wrap. Take it for lunch. Come home and put it with some sugar-free barbecue sauce and have some broccoli on the side or some grilled asparagus that night. Then the next day you cut it up and you have it for chicken salad. But to plan ahead and go ahead and box those things up and put them in Ziploc bags and portion sizes. And when you're in a hurry, you don't have to think about, oh, I got to stop at the store and get some food to go home and cook. I'll just stop and get Domino's. You don't have to make those choices. It's sitting there waiting on you in the refrigerator. So that's one thing that we've done to try to help people to manage their time better by planning ahead. One of the other things we do, we kill these people 5 days a week for an hour. They leave there with their head in a bucket. They leave there cussing us, sending beautiful hand gestures to us.
So that part is like the TV.
That part is. And on top of that, we give them a homework assignment. So every week, depending on the week, for the past 12 weeks of their program, they would be given an extra 500 burpees or 500 sit-ups or 16 miles to run or 5 miles to bike or whatever. And they look at you like you're crazy, like, how are we supposed to do this? We have to work. We have to come here for an hour. We don't get home. We've got to cook. We've got to plan. Well, that's what we all have to do every day. We have something that we run out of time. So we try to teach them for 12 weeks of how to get these homework assignments done. And what they've learned to do is you get up 30 minutes earlier in the morning and you get some of your work done. You get your extra push-ups done. Instead of taking an hour lunch where you go sit down at a restaurant and eat, you bring your lunch, you sit outside at the park, you eat for 30 minutes, and then you go on a 30-minute walk. In between your TV show at night at 10 o'clock, you do your push-ups on the commercials instead of sitting in the bed eating popcorn. So is that always fun? Is that always what you want to do? Not necessarily. But when people say, I don't have time to work out, yeah, you do.
Well, that's
You don't-
always just a choice.
It
though.
is.
I mean,
It is.
Because I do really believe, as one of my mentors told me, you do what's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
You always choose to do what's important to you. So really, when you say I don't have enough time, you say I
Right.
don't have enough time. I don't think that's important enough
Right.
to just do it.
Right.
So Jennifer, what was the biggest challenge for you? I mean, what was hardest for you in the program?
Wow. Physically, I'm like I said, I kind of grew up being really active, and I'm pretty competitive. So
Pretty
funny.
competitive.
I mean,
Okay.
So the physical activity was good for me. Like, I would push myself every day. That was fine. I have a shoulder issue. I have a knee issue. I had an ankle issue. Little things like that would just kind of get on my nerves. Not to the point where it would stop me from working out, but just get on my nerves. The food stuff was okay. We worked with a nutritionist this year, which was really great, and I felt like Kelly was saying, you don't have to starve yourself. I ate 5 times a day. I prepared every single night before I went to school. The next morning, had my bags ready, multiple bags of boiled eggs or Greek yogurt and almonds and everything portioned out, and it took a lot of time. But again, and I know this, for me, this sounds dumb, but I'm going to say it anyway. The only thing I craved for 14 weeks was Diet Mountain Dew. Truly. I didn't crave chocolate, which I love. I didn't crave potato chips, which I love. I didn't crave pasta or, going out to dinner. I don't know what it was. For me, that was literally the hardest thing for me.
It's giving up to do.
And it's been 106 days.
giving
and
up
I've
to
not
do.
had. Yes, today is day 106, and I know that
That's
because every
serious.
day
That's
it's serious.
serious.
Because every day I wake up and go, it's 106 days. I really, really want one, but then I'm back to zero, and then I have to start all over. That stuff is like crack cocaine.
Well, it
I
is.
know-
It's sugar.
Oh my
Sugar is
gosh.
so addicting.
But you're saying diet.
Diet Mountain Dew. Diet Mountain Dew. Aspartame. I'm going to go on some nationwide campaign to get that stuff off the market because it is, I'm telling you, that's the only thing I craved. I mean, everything else was hard. There were days where I did not want to go to the gym. There were days I got there and I'd look around like, they are not about to do this to me. Like, I do not want to deal with this. I just dealt with 12-year-olds all day.
So is there
and I don't
something
do it,
about
but-
diet drinks that doesn't stop you from eating other things? I mean,
Oh, no.
is that the problem?
Diet,
Is that
no,
the
I
problem?
just think it tastes better. Diet Mountain Dew, I just like the taste of it.
Yeah.
That's what I miss, is the taste of it. But, so I drink water for 106 days.
Water's okay.
Water's okay. I mean, it works, so.
Well, I know folks that are watching the show want to know, or some in particular probably want to know, when is the next round?
This is so time consuming and we put so much effort into this, we can only do it once a year. I would love to be able to do it over and over again, but we really like to spend time with these people and follow it through. So we do this once a year. We will do our 4th year starting in January. We will start taking applications probably August or September. We will advertise that on our Facebook page. Just search Rome Athletic Club. We will also advertise it on our website, romeathletic.club.com. We take applications that we read. All of the trainers read them over and over. We will then have a sit-down face-to-face interview process, which is what we did this year. And then we'll sit and make a decision. We always make a decision before Christmas so that people know that they're going to be, they can tell their families if they're in town, that they're going to be part of the program. And we usually start the 2nd full week of January. So we look forward to doing that again. We'll start searching for some sponsors. Without the sponsors, we would have never been able to do what we do. It costs a lot of money to provide personal training and all of a nutritionist and books and all the things that we do with them. And so we're really fortunate to have the sponsors that we've had. But we're looking forward to it. We miss it when it's over with. It's so much work and you spend so much time there, but we miss it when it's over.
I got a question.
Yes.
Thought idea. Do y'all have an alumni group? Do y'all have like a reunion or something?
We
bring
have
as many as back as possible.
We do. Well, we don't call it an alumni group, but when we had orientation for these guys before they started, we invite the first 2 seasons, that's what I call them, the first 2 seasons to come back. Even this year, I used and asked for volunteers the past 2 years. I asked for those older contestants, and I don't mean that by age, to come back and mentor these guys. And I know your mentor, you had an awesome experience with her. And so that way they have somebody to go to other than me or one of the other trainers. They know somebody that's been through it, that's cried, that's thrown up, that's been mad, that's been angry, that's had their feelings hurt, that's had their body hurt to look at. And some of the past contestants love being able to kind of hold their hand and work out with them, and they do. I mean, her mentor was amazing, and we had several that were there with them numerous nights, running with them and pushing them and doing burpees. And she said she couldn't do a burpee a minute ago, and she lies. She does a great
it's not
burpee.
really good.
It's really good.
But you had mentioned earlier kind of the community involvement of this, and I think that's where kind of using the mentors, it's an accountability issue. It's anybody can say, oh, I could totally do that for 12 weeks. But it's hard. I mean, and the Diet Mountain Dew is just kind of my laughter, but I mean, it's really, really difficult. It's a hard process, and if you're not, you really have to be ready. You know, you have to be ready in your own self, in your own mind, in your own heart. You have to want it.
Bad.
And with the mentors coming in, and like, I mean, just family members alone. I mean, my mom, helped out a lot and stuff like that, just kind of encouraging me and getting me out and doing stuff, and my best friends and stuff like that. Like, it really has to be an accountability community. Your people group really have to kind of all in,
Well, we have to take another break here. When we come back, we will give you some information so you can find out more about this. So please stay with us.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We've been talking about extreme Fitness Makeover with Kelly Tolles and this year's winner, Jennifer Short. If you want to find out more about this, you can go to the Rome Athletic Club Facebook page, or you can go to the website www.romeathletic.club.com and find out more about next year's round or just about getting healthy in general. And I want to thank y'all and thank all of you for being with us this time on Community Watch. We'll see you next week.